I joined the military as a young 17-year-old, I used to watch the commercials. Back in the day when it was known as, or their slogan was, "Be all you can be." I didn't know that I had other options. You know, college wasn't in my mind at the time. I felt like I was going to be doing something great with my life. I knew that I was going to get to travel. I was really excited about that. So joining the military at that time was really exciting. It was actually my mother's idea for me to join the military. Because I remember when I was in high school, you told me, oh, you know, you should do this, they have great benefits. But I wondered why, why I didn't just go to school right after high school. I mean, I didn't know anything about college, so I didn't know what I should do, and you know.
Well, just because the reason, we could probably would say ignorance maybe, that you hear about other people, and one thing is going in the military and get your term and get out and use those benefits, and one thing is to be in the war.
The person who I was before I joined the military, or even before deployment, was a very young and naive young lady. And from one minute to another, it's like somebody snapped their fingers and said, grow up, like today, right now. You're seen as this incredible, powerful, evil force in a way, because we're there, we were meant to be there, we were supposed to be there to help, but a lot of people didn't want us there. A lot of people did want us there. You know, we would drive by in convoys and children would throw rocks at us, they would throw things at us, and it was very confusing, you know. Yeah, that's a crazy one. And then this photo right here was a Polaroid that they took on the airplane to Iraq. And then I put a date, 31 March 2003, Jules on her way to our Iraqi vacation. Mm-hmm. I was so young back then. When I first came back from deployment, I felt very lost. I was a little secluded. I was sabotaging a lot of the relationships that I had, and the friendships that I had didn't fulfill me. Today I decided to start taking the Celexa, the antidepressants prescribed by the doctor. After a year of going back and forth and denying the medicine, I decided to try it out for these intense bouts of depression. You know, I felt guilty for just being part of something that was bad in a lot of ways. It hurt a lot of people, and I didn't want my friends and my family to know that I was part of that. And it was easier to just not talk about it than to share with them how I really felt.
She was different. I noticed right in there she was just different. She was not the same girl that left. I just noticed like more serious, like more quiet.
I had always been a creative person growing up. As a kid, I was always writing stories, drawing pictures. One particular time that I visited UC Davis, and I was walking down a hallway of the design department, and I remember seeing these photos on the wall. They were sort of like photography illustrations. There were these photographs that looked real, but they had these odd things in them that couldn't have been real, and I was really, really intrigued by that. I wanted to know how that was done. I wanted to know what it was. And that's when at that moment, that's when I realized I want to do whatever these people are doing, and came to find out it was graphic design. When I started working on my MFA thesis work, I knew that it was going to surround veterans issues. I wasn't exactly sure what it was going to be, but I knew that it was going to be related to that topic. And while I was doing research, I came across a statistic that basically said that more veterans in California are dying due to suicide than at war. I set up basically a graph in the nave of the school, and it was hundreds and hundreds of toy soldiers. Anyways, I want to find the little soldiers for you. Oh man. Oh wait, here they are. veteran comes back from Iraq, he or she isn't talking about their issues. A loved one, their mother, their spouse, has no idea. You know, they might notice a thing here or there, or they might become concerned, but there isn't a dialogue. And then of course, you can't help a veteran communicate without a professional, a clinician. So for my thesis, I wanted to focus on the dialogue between these three different groups of people, and how can I as a designer facilitate that. I introduced myself to a lot of veterans. I went out in the veteran community. I met several vets around school, and I wanted to get their story. I wanted to do sort of like a video collage, but more importantly, I wanted to get a visual of their experience. I wanted a drawing of their experience. The projects themselves were therapy for me. It was almost like a mirage. You could see just the heat and the sun just beating down on the dirt and making it really hot. And next thing we knew, we were driving and the kids would pop out of nowhere. I remember them running, and that I felt guilty and that I felt helpless, that here were all these children and these innocent souls, and I couldn't do anything to help them. And then of course the infamous name tag, which had my old last name on it. And maybe someday, like, I'll pass these on to my kids or something, and, you know, I mean, I'm only having 2 kids, so maybe I'll split them up, 2, 4, 6. Yep, there we go. In my design work in school, I've learned that I need to ask a lot of questions. You know, how do I, as a designer, make this work better? Or how do I, make the issue of veterans with PTSD, how do I benefit that from my experience? You know, what can I do as a veteran and as a designer to help a problem?